Yeah. So we are live. So,
Okay.
my viewers, I greet you all. I greet you all once again. My name is Joseph Asipo from Music in My Ears, the Nigerian Music History channel on YouTube. My personal pages on Facebook and some other pages that we go live on, and we put out videos just to celebrate Nigerian music from all angles, because over time, I keep saying it, I find it difficult to see certain records or you're looking out for something and you end up not being able to see, get records or documentation of these things. So the little bit we are doing is to contribute a little way to see that future generations will come back and get to find information that they need. That is why we are doing what we are doing. And today I have brother, my very good friend, Tete Jnr, who is already on stage. Tete, just say hi to people there before I continue with the
Yeah,
introduction.
hello everybody. Tete Jnr. right here live. It's nice to be here once again,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's my
So
pleasure though.
thank you, Tete. Thank you, Tete. I'll go back a little bit into history so that we
Okay.
know where we are going to start from this thing. You know,
All
we
right.
met like maybe 40 years ago. I estimate like 40
Yeah.
years ago. That's a pretty long
Yeah.
time. Then we
Yeah.
lost touch. Then like 20 years ago, I met you on the street of
Oh,
Ikeja.
yeah.
Now discovered that Tete is a
That's right.
musician. Yeah, I never knew. We had lost touch, only to discover that
Yeah.
Tete is a musician. And I ended up
Mm-hmm.
in your home studio. I listened to the things you
Yeah.
were doing. I was actually taken aback that, wow, somebody is thinking forward, trying to preserve the culture of his people, because this is about the culture now.
Of
So
course.
I've not really asked this question. So let me start by asking, how did you, from that time we knew 40 years ago, how did you transit into music? Let me just, and being a great keyboard player, one of the best keyboardists from Nigeria. Let me just hear and let the people hear.
Yeah, actually music has always been in the family somehow, from my late father. Incidentally, he was very instrumental to starting up the very first police band in Lagos, the Ikeja Police Command. So back home then, going way back, almost that's like 4 decades back, I think we were in school, Methodist Boys High School, like you can remember,
Yeah.
Oron and that interest came from the school choir. I joined the
Directed
school
it.
choir
Yeah.
during the time of, I think, Jonathan, who
Yeah.
was the choir master. And when he left, I think he handed over to Osuguma Akpan. From there, I became assistant choir master to the choir master. And so the journey to music, I discovered that I loved what I was doing in the choir, the harmonies and singing and all that. So one of those holidays coming back home, I saw that the old man had gotten himself the little upright piano right in the parlor.
Wow.
And so he was learning how to sight read, play from what do we call it, small woods piano tutor. So when he plays and he leaves for work, I will go,
We'll
I
take
sneak
over.
there.
Wow.
Yes, I will sneak to the piano, and because I couldn't sight read, but I had good ears, and I started reproducing what he would play sight reading offhand, just using my ears. And one day he came back and caught me, in the act, and he started encouraging me to sight read, but I wasn't cut out for that stuff, sorry. I wasn't really cut out for that stuff, so I I wanted to play. I didn't want the kind of church, approach, organ style, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I didn't want that. I wanted to play the normal, the street, what you call the street, like the keyboardist, like the bands play and all that. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted that style. I didn't want, so I wasn't too interested. So I started vamping. From that time, I discovered that I had a flair for this thing, and at a point in time, I had to abandon everything, and I started playing, going around. There was a guitarist in Calabar then. He's late now, a Cameroonian. What do you call him? Late Temiro Barbarossa. He was playing with Paradise
Temiro
City, Paradise Stars.
Barbarossa. I know that name.
Yeah,
Temiro
Paradise
Barbarossa.
Stars. Yeah, So I got to meet him. Incidentally, a former bassist. There are bassists there. Charlie Charles. He traveled out. Later, he came to Lagos and he started playing for Mandatos. He was a bassist, and so within that time frame, after a while, I played Resorts of Faith with Temiro, a couple of other places. So I went for talent shows, Cross River State Broadcasting Corporation competition, singing competition. The zonal I took first, and the state overall I came up first too, and that incited my journey into sort of reestablish my confidence to give this thing a try, because it was passion. We're just doing it because we loved it. And so somehow, one of those days I was hanging out with Efik at his place, Omar Fantasy nightclub. And it was in the daytime though. And somebody came in from a guy named, I think, Frank. Then he came in. He said he just left a band at the Crystal Park Hotel, Aba, as a keyboardist, and nobody was there. That I said, I'm interested. I always wanted to play with a band. And he said, okay, when you go there, ask for Charlie Issa, the band leader.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a Ghanaian. So I took off the next day with my small Casio keyboard, and I landed there. I said, I'm this guy's brother, Frank's brother. He said he just left, and he said I should come and replace him. And that was how my journey started, with a sweet, what did they call it? Sweet Generation band, Crystal Park Hotel. So in the interim, within this space of time, when I came briefly back home on break, my senior brother, who is late now, who was based in the US, came and he saw my interest, and he introduced me to one of his friends, Dr. Sotiris Papadopoulos. Is a Greek man. He's a physicist. Yes, he has a PhD in nuclear physics, but a master's degree in music. So he arranged for me to move to Port Harcourt, where Sotiris was based. And Sotiris primarily put me through the rudiments of, jazz, and introduced me to jazz and all that. So that shaped my musical journey, and I started playing with him. So, but when at that Crystal Park Hotel, the Mandatos was doing a nationwide tour. So they ended up, when they came to the East, one of the venues was Crystal Park Hotel. So I was with the resident band. So I now met Charlie. After all this while, we parted ways when he came to Lagos, and he said, "What are you doing here, man? This is not a place for you. Come to Lagos. That's where all the action is. Come to Lagos." And that prompted me, making up my mind. I came to Lagos, and lo and behold, Charlie was playing with Mandatos, and he was also working with Lemmy Jackson music. Lemmy was like the Quincy Jones of Nigeria. Yeah, so it was there gradually. Charlie introduced me to Lemmy, that I'm a keyboardist and all that. He wanted Lemmy to take me in, because the late Jimmy Henshaw was a chief engineer, as a head, apart from Lemmy, the assistant a producer to Lemmy. Before Charlie Charles, there was Sonny Orogbash, who is late now, and one Steve Nash. So I was the youngest to join them there, and that was where I got to meet artists, the late Kimono, Orits Wiliki, Edmond Spice, a whole lot of them. So my journey into production started from there. So Lemmy actually started giving me, with pressure from Charlie, he said, okay, let's try him. So the first project, he gave me a couple of demos. I shouldn't do full production. He should test me with demo. So I made the first demo with the first artist. and the second one, and Lemmy was satisfied, was impressed. He actually said that I have a flair for African, you know, I had the African touch. So anything that had to do with that, he pushed it to my side. Say, I'll give this to Godfrey and all that. And so I started my journey with Lemmy Jackson music and production and all that. So within this interim, I started growing and growing. It was right from that studio working with Orits Wiliki that he invited me to come and play with his band because his lead keyboardist had relocated. So I joined his band and I learned so much from him.
Orits Wiliki.
Playing his band, I learned arrangements, syncopations, and you know, chaining songs from one song to the other, syncopations to change, and a whole lot of other things. And the experience was very, very encouraging and exciting for me. It was a whole new journey. So that's how I literally came into music, and from there I started playing. I featured with played with Fomi Adams and Jambo's Express, a couple of other people too. I've worked with Tauko. There was this guy from Tauko, the Mambiza man, you know. I worked with him on the studio too. There was this guy Basu Soro too that came from Italy, and everybody tried working with him.
I remember.
A crazy guy. So no one could work with him, but I was cool-headed enough to, I said, hey, whatever you want, I don't want to change your sound. Just hum what you want. Tell me the direction, I'll do it for you. So I ended up, we became so close. We became friends because he came out really good. And so worked with other guys. There were this set of guys that they called Diamond 5, I think so. And then later one of them was late, or so they came for a remix of that their song. Now wow, money no day, pocket no good. Now so suffer. Now wow, money no day, pocket no good. Brother, I dey tire every day. I dey walk. So I worked with Diamond 5. Then through Lemmy, I worked also with Mr. Ohi Alegbe on NDLEA. Yes. He came. NDLEA wanted to do some jingles for against drug. So Lemmy handed that project over to me, and I did the 4 jingles, and they were all approved, and they were playing on national radio and all that. So I worked with him. We worked with a couple of other artists too on that Lemmy's platform. I can't mention all of them right now. So actually, that is what shaped me until I said, okay, it's time for me to go solo and, you know,
do your stuff. We'll get to that.
Do my stuff.
We'll get to that, but we have to go back a little bit because there are names you mentioned. You mentioned Efik. Is it the same?
Yes, Efik of the Love Band. I played with the Wings. I think he was a cousin to the former governor, Donald Duke. And he had a place at Bogobri in Calabar, Oma Fantasy nightclub. You know, he was also a mentor, a great guitarist. He took me like a junior brother, and you know, I got some advices and tips from him too. Back then. So yes, Efik was in the picture.
Wow. So that's so much history, much of which I don't know. As much as I've tried to put history together, I don't. You mentioned so many names that I don't even know. But that's a great one. You also mentioned
that's to show that
behind.
Sorry, who?
Go on first.
That's showing that I've come a long way, you know. Really, I have to start mentioning, and so all these experiences and all that have come into play, you know, and I'm glad that I passed through that path, and you know, I'm where I am today, and I thank God for life, because it's not been easy. You know how it is. Some of our colleagues have passed on and all that, and we just thank God that we're still here and still pushing, because when there is life, there's hope, man. We can't give up, man. You know, yes, we like they say, old soldiers never die. So we gotta keep on pushing and pushing, and all that.
I was checking through. You're squeezing. Hello. It's like Tete, we have lost Tete. I needed to ask one important question now. Lost Tete for a bit. Hello, Tete. You're out for now. We'll come back. We'll get him back soon. He's out. So that was a very rich history coming from Tete Jnr. going back the whole history learned to some of the things that I have not even known before now. Very important, very important. I wish he gets back so that we'll continue the conversation. We mentioned Efik, you mentioned Five Diamond Band, you mentioned working with mandators, you mentioned working with Orits Wiliki. That's a whole lot of experience, that you're a bit out, so
Yeah, network problems. Yeah, you know how it is.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Now, so I was trying to say that is a whole lot of experience. I
Yes.
was going through the discography of Akwa-Cross, and I saw your
Okay.
name. I saw your name for the second
Yes.
album. I saw Tete
Yes.
keyboard. I said, "Wow, this man has done a lot in this." So you remember Akwa-Cross? No. Oh, Tete is having network issues from Nigeria, where he is. Let's just hold on for him. I'm sure he'll be back. This is an interesting conversation that technical issues should not rob us from enjoying it to the fullest. So let's just hold on for Tete to show back. So that is, Tete is so widely experienced. It's unfortunate that Nigeria don't seems to celebrate talents such like Tete, and in this channel we are trying our best to like bring to the fore some of these artists that have put in their very best over the years. Sometimes they may not be so recognized. Even the new ones, we will give opportunities for people to come and tell their stories by and by. That's what we are set out to do when we are able to do it. So we are still waiting for Tete. Once it pops up, we need to continue this interesting conversation. It's quite interesting conversation. So meanwhile, in the previous live, we talked about the gap, the divide between the older generation artists and the newer generation artists, which I had the privilege of having Paparazzi, or Brace, as I used to call him, because that's the name I know. We spoke about everything, and I think I might still have to ask Tete that same question, his own perspective on it. Are we really seeing a divide? Why is it that way? And again, what are the ways to remedy the situation? We'll talk about a wide variety of things. We talked about early days in growing up in Cross River or South in southeastern state, in Calabar, and around those places. So I'm just hoping that Tete will pop up again so that we'll continue the conversation. So my apologies. Let's pop up. Let's wait a bit. Meanwhile, the channel is Music in My Ears, the Nigerian music history channel on YouTube and other platforms. So you can log on, you can subscribe. We want subscription, we want views, want to encourage yourself to stay on, learn about the history of Nigerian music over the time. We've made video clips of some of the artists that sometimes we have forgotten about or people have forgotten about. We try to bring them alive once again. So that is for those that have passed on. Because when you check, sometimes you don't get to see anything about these artists. It's very disheartening. And we have had reason to be happy sometimes when, because of the feedback we get from people who nobody talks about their relatives that were artists. I've had people that say that they have closure on the whereabouts of the artists they used to love by watching some of the videos we've made about them. So keep on watching, keep on subscribing. That's the only encouragement you can give us on this channel, Music in My Ears. So just go to YouTube. On the YouTube search panel, just go Music in My Ears, the Nigerian Music History channel. You'll see us there. Then our Facebook page. This live stream is also going on our Facebook page. You'll be able to reach us. I think Tete is coming back. Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Tete is back. Oh, it's going again. Are you okay? It's still out. Maybe data, internet problem where he is. So we'll just wait a while. Try to come up. There's so many things to talk about on this live today. So many things to talk about on this live today. So essentially, Nigerian music has developed over the years, like we heard Tete saying, would touch a rich history. We've heard him talking about the places he's been to, the places he played, starting from secondary school to his hometown in Calabar to Aba. We'll be making progress and going forward towards how he established himself as a solo artist before the technical issues came up. But let's be patient for Tete. Tete will soon be back. Tete, try and come back. Waiting for you. Let me try and send a message to you and find out what is going on in a moment. Yeah. Yeah. We lost Tete, so I'm trying to get across to him to see what's up at the end.
I can't hear you. I can't. Hello? Network is bad. No audio. Can you hear me?
Yes. 1 minute, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the audio is bad.
Can you hear me now? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So sorry. Yeah.
I had to meet you. So no problem. It's one of those things. It happens. Technically, when you're
Yeah.
talking
That's what we're saying.
Between two continents, it's not easy. Anyway, we'll continue.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I asked about. We're talking about you're working with Alpha Kufa. I noticed it on this album. I said, "Wow, Tete was part of this production too." Can you take us there if you remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was at that time I was late Jimmy Henshaw's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the project. He was the main producer, but I was also in the project. So I got to offer my little input, and that was it. That's how I came into that production. So
Okay,
I can't quite remember now.
Continue.
I can't quite remember how many tracks I did there, whether one or two, but I know that I worked on that project. It's such a long time. You can't keep remembering every detail. So that was it for Alpha Kufa.
Yeah. He's doing well. I think he's in Akwa-Ibom. I think he got into politics and stuff like that. And
Oh, really? That's
yeah, he
good.
was at the point. I think he was the publicity secretary of PDP in the state, but he's also doing. He's a born again Christian too. According to you, he does gospel now more. I think. So let's go back again. I try to team this thing based on where we come from. I was born into southeastern state.
Okay. Same here too. Yeah.
Southeastern state. Because we try to bring history. Because in a few years' time, most people would not know that such a state existed. Southeast state before Southeast, before what we call Southeast now, and those 70s, there was never. For you to go to Calabar from Uyo, for instance, you have to those ships
pass through the water.
Oron, MV Obudu,
MV Obudu, Onitsha, MV Onitsha. I think MV Lokoja too.
MV Lokoja.
And then we did the hovercraft thing too.
Hovercraft,
and of course the speedboat. Of course, the speedboats. We had to take some time to go back to school.
Of course.
When we miss the ferry.
The now entire speedboat. Wow.
Yeah.
The issue is this. I think things have changed a lot in our place. We'll get back to the music, but I'm just trying to look at the development. Have we really done well as in what now stop? Is it that Calabar River? I think that should be Calabar River.
Yes, Calabar around.
Did it dry up that we don't have those kind of facilities again? I'm talking of standard passengers ship.
Remember, I think.
Sorry. Remember, before, I don't know what has happened now. When you are in Oron and going today, there was a national museum that way that you stop by to look at things before you.
Yes. Yes. I actually think that it is a product of when they constructed the roads, the Calabar-Itu Road linking, and also from.
You're out again. Okay. Tete is still having some technical issues, but we'll wait for you. I think the conversation is really interesting. Kind of going back to the past and see where we're coming from, and because we know our future. So that is the essence of this thing that we are doing. We need to know our past and move ahead and leave something behind for the younger generation, which is key. And in our country now, they say they are not doing history again. So if we have opportunity to relay our history to the people, we keep on doing it. There's no crime. It doesn't cost any money to talk about our past and look forward to the future with hope. Nigeria is supposed to be a very great country. I've been to several states of the country. I've been to, I think, almost all the states of the country except Borno, Yobe, Jigawa. Those are the few states. Katsina, I have not been to Katsina. But essentially, having gone around the country, I can say we are supposed to be a very great country, but somehow things are not the way it's supposed to be. Certain places of our dear country, Nigeria, is so endowed and so rich culturally, agriculture-wise, entertainment, tourism-wise. We have everything that is supposed to keep us on top in the committee of countries, but somehow things don't seem to work the way we, the citizens, would love it to be. But we hope that if we keep talking, maybe somebody will listen to us someday. Somebody will hear, somebody will, somebody that has the opportunity to be in power can do things with intention, because by those intention, doing things intentionally, no matter what the obstacles may be, will still be rooted in one place. And that is not the country we want our children and our grandchildren to come and benefit. We need to be in a space that things work, and the rule of law works. If you apply certain efforts to what you're doing, you get to benefit from it. That's the essence of why we bring in some of these developmental things into our story, into our music story, into our culture story. That is why we do it. So we wait for Tete to still come back. We are waiting for him. We find out at the back what is up with him. You see, things that people take for granted in so many places, like network, power, is still an issue in Nigeria. Sadly, we're supposed to have a very smooth conversation now, but most of the time, last week the same thing. I was supposed to have Father Basi, who is one of the prominent artists of the early 20s, early 20s, that most people know him. That's the man that when you have a song or songs that bands are scrambling to use as part of their promotional material, I mean, you're good. But I couldn't get him because of technical issue. He couldn't join. Technical issue. And what is technical issue? Communication. Some of these things are supposed to be things we really take for granted, but sadly, like I said, it is still keeping us down. And what can we do? I'll still wait for Tete. Yeah, it's back again. Let me try again.
Had a lot of had a lot of windstorms here, and the network is really bad.
I can understand. No problem.
And an aircraft just passed. Each time an aircraft passes, the connection gets lost and all that. So that's what happened.
True. Oh, it's true. Okay, and that's the Ikeja area for you. Okay, so moving forward, we're just talking about what has been, but let's move into music once again. Our great artists, talking about people like Yamtai Shaw, talking about, you mentioned Efik. There's this Kingsley Bosti, but I don't know. I've not really listened
Kingsley Bassi.
I've not really listened to him, but I'll find time and find his songs and listen. Where the other side of the bridge of the Calabar-Itu, you have a Rex William, Chief Tia. How much did those people influence you? Oh, Tete is out again. Wow. Let's keep waiting. Let's have patience. He has just explained where he is. I think his house is on a fly over that area. It becomes a problem. I can understand what is going on. So keep waiting for him. In the meantime, if you're on my channel, I just did a video on Harry Moscow. I dropped that video like around 11 in the morning, 11 and 12. Harry Moscow was one of the members of the Funky. So okay, Tete is back. Let me put it back on. Okay, don't worry. We'll get to the end today.
Yeah. So you were talking about Bostic. I was
Bostic,
saying, yeah, you may have heard one or two of his songs. He's the one that did that in Sabo.
Oh yeah.
He was the one. Oh, he was also in the scene too, and he did some other stuff. Friends, almost sounding like the man, and so he's one of the pioneers back then. Before, unfortunately, took his age. You know.
No, you're breaking. I didn't get what you said.
Though.
Wow, this network is an issue.
Yeah. So, did you get that?
No, I didn't get. You said unfortunately something happened.
You know, he died in. I think one of these Eastern. I think maybe the present Ebonyi or thereabouts. So they had an accident and he died. Unfortunately, that was what happened at a very young age. So he left us at a very young age.
Yeah, so there's so much history. There's so much history there. Now let me get back to. I know I would have loved us to talk more about Young Nation and the rest, but because of network, let's get to your music now. I listened to the file you sent. That song I saw 8 minutes. You know, they're not titled. I saw 8 minutes. I was wondering what is Tete playing for 8 minutes. When I now play that song, it's a kind of instrumental. I don't know the title.
Yeah, that's ethnic folk jazz.
Wow.
The Bongo Carnival.
When I listened to that song, I was like, who did the rock and roll? Who did the rock and roll guitar riffs on that song?
Incidentally, he's in Europe now. I think my good friend Shino Oguntuga.
Wow.
He's the one that did that shit, man. And there was no prior rehearsal. He just came to my studio then at Oregon. And I said, hey, Shino, come drop some. I just need some guitar here. And it was spontaneous, you know. It wasn't something he just heard it and he flowed with it, and that is what came out. And most times, spontaneous things like that, you know, they never come again. When you really prepare that you want to play and overplay yourself, you really don't get much out of it. But things that come spontaneously, creativity that comes spontaneously like that, man, there's always something about those kind of inputs out of the box. So it was Shino Oguntuga.
I was like, who is going to listen for 8 minutes to a song? But I stayed through the song and I played it again, 8 minutes again. Yeah. And there's no vocals on it.
Yeah, it's strictly jazz, for trado ethnic jazz. So that I it's one of my best. I look at it as my greatest what I would rate myself with internationally, because I was actually looking at the international audience, international market, because not so many people would understand that level of music, given the common, man in Nigeria and all that. They are going for the commercial stuff. This was stuff for the advanced mind, people who understand jazz and the diversity of jazz, and bringing the traditional Efik percussions, to make it unique and make it original. Yeah. So I think that is my best. Yeah. It was intentional.
Wow. That's some.
Yes.
See, Nigerians, I think we have not started listening to music. Let me just put it that way. We have not started listening to music. You cannot just listen to music that comes today and go in 1 month. And unfortunately, people that are really giving us real music are not celebrated.
That's the way it is.
That is. I listened to that. I said, well, I thought it was Mutaka kind of beats from Mutaka or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
There's a fusion of the elements of, you could have jazz there, Afro, and you had a little bit of the what do you call a bit of the high life talk, but Afro jazz fusion with ethnic, influences and cultural influences deeply
And rock
rooted
and
in the
roll.
Efik culture,
And rock
and
and
rock
roll,
and roll. You had rock, there was rock there and all that. So, it was my brain's child, so to say, and it's my number one any day. What I would consider my highest creativity, to say, come and show what you have, what your expression musically and all that. Because all these other ones that I'm playing, the singles that I dropped later, were just commercial things that people could relate to. And my music predominantly is more of a carnival kind of stuff, carnival or music, or what do you call it, festival time, the tempo, up tempo dance and all that, rooted in Efik folklore and all that. So that one was different and was intentional. I just wanted to say, hey, this is the influences I've had from jazz, and I want to express it from the platform of the Efik, traditional beats. You could hear the Ekombi beat was the basic, that basic groove there. Yeah, you have it there in the drums, and then the percussion, the komupa, and the normal sack, what we call sack, the maracas, the Efik maracas, we call it sack. And there was a tortoise shell, if you listen, you hear. So all those things make it original. That is what really sums up the essence of my music. You say Jakomba music, which is what I call my genre.
Yeah, when I listen to it, I say, "Oh, Tete said he's doing Jakomba." It's like this is the expression of what he really meant.
Yes, because it's an acronym for the fusion of jazz, high life, mbaya, which is an indigenous, folklore, cultural, folk dance, maiden dance in Calabar, mbaya, konkoma, so Jakomba is like an acronym for, this genre of music. So that is why it is deeply rooted. That is the identity. That's the only way I could be original, relating from my background, where I'm coming from. You understand? Just like the Westerners have Fuji, diversification, Juju, Apala, Mtungba, and the rest. So this was traditionally Southeast, Efik, Akwa-Cross, So those were the elements involved.
Well, so I'm not wrong, because I'm not giving you feedback after listening to it. This is the first time I'm talking about
it.
So I'm not wrong in my
No, you are not wrong. You are there.
I don't speak it. But other songs are beautiful. All the remixes are beautiful. So where can we find these songs? Where can we, people can get to listen to some of your songs?
Well, the easiest place you can get it now, if you log on to AudioMark, just type Tete Jnr. and you'll see those songs will come out. All of them, I think they are there. Yeah, so that's the easiest place, the fastest place you can get them. AudioMark.
They'll soon come up in another platform, but for now,
platforms, it's on AudioMark.
AudioMark. Go and type Tete Jnr. If you really want to listen to.
You can also download from there too.
Yeah. So because
you can also download from there.
Because we are projecting what is good. We are not waiting for big celebrities we want to celebrate people that have not been celebrated, and they deserve to be celebrated. That is one of the reasons for this, for all the things that we do on Music in My Ears. You mentioned festival, so that takes me to Calabar Festival. I don't know. I don't know the objective of the government across, starting from Donald Duke. But I have a feeling that was supposed to equally project the culture of the people, because I know that before Carnival, there used to be Carnival.
Yeah.
Christmas time in Cross River, in Calabar.
Yes, I know.
People converge from different places to a particular point and celebrate.
The Wat Market roundabout axis.
Yes. I know. So my thinking has always been, maybe that is what Donald Duke saw and say, okay, let me modernize this thing. But I don't know if it's part of their objective to develop the indigenous artists from Cross River, from Calabar. And getting into that, you as an indigenous, how do you see that? Or have you benefited from such platform as a native of Calabar, where the festival has been taking place for like decades now?
Well, unfortunately, it hasn't been so. Based on some factors, some of which I may not be able to delve into now because of time and all that things. But basically, at that time, I personally felt that after the demise of people like Yang Henshaw, Peter Ifiom, Ekpita, and all that, so I still had to present my music with a touch of the home-based folklore culture and all that. And I had expectations that this would be welcomed with open arms. But you know how these things work, and sometimes in our society nowadays, we have to be blunt. You have to go and lobby and do a lot of things and try to get people to. So the whole process was very cumbersome and all that. So I struggled so much to get this music out there. There was no support because you know how the music scene is. I have to raise money, support myself, go into the studio, do one or two simple videos that I could do and all that. So I tried as much as possible. I remember that I packaged those songs, wrote a proposal, introduced myself, sent it on. I sent on DHL and I sent on which is that other courier service, the other one with the red. What was their name again?
There was FedEx.
FedEx. So, and I didn't, to the governor's office, I didn't get that response and all that. So I had to travel down. That was when I got in touch with Efik because they are related, trying to see. I met a couple of people. I met Mr. Omini and all that. And they managed to say, okay, there's an audition. So I came for the audition, and that year, I remember Sonny Neji was the chairman of the committee, and they said that people should come to the cultural center and all that. And they were auditioning people, and I went as an artist. I expected I should play with my band and all that. And they said, hey, no, bring a CD and come and mime. I've never mimed in all my life. I'm not used to that. It's better for me to carry my keyboard, program beats, and play and sing. I would have given a better account of myself. So, but I just had to do it for them to put me on the bill. But unfortunately, they went and put me on the 31st night and they gave me 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes was actually 5 minutes. I wasn't allowed to really express. So it was after I came down, Mr. Omini said, oh, Tete, that he has regretted, he made a mistake. He would have put me at the Millennium Park, where I would have had up to 1 hour to play. Yes, and in all this, I had to fund myself. I funded myself, my transportation with the 10-piece band, because the music is a big band
music. Live music, big band music.
Yes, big band music. Because if I had my way, the band would be something almost like Fela's band, because of the elements of the people playing. I should have a session of 3 or so people playing the tortoise shell, the person playing the komukpa, the person playing the uborekomo, the person playing the maracas, the person playing the gong. And this percussion, by the time you line them up with 3 huntsmen, with 3 backups and the back lines, basses, so you are having like a 14-piece band, a 14 to 15-piece band, plus the dancers, maybe at least 2. So it was a large band. I had to streamline to 10. So I had to foot the transportation, bill for our transportation down to Calabar. And after playing, I wasn't paid immediately. I was actually stranded with the guys, So I had to make up money from here and there, mop up money from a friend, Andy, he was one of the guys I produced at Lemmy Jackson Music. He's still there. He's a witness. He brought some money, and also my senior brother, the sculptor, Ukpong in Calabar there, the one that all those major sculptural pieces around 1111 and all that is the one. So he was the one that made up the rest of the money that saw me and my band back to Lagos, man. It wasn't funny. So after that 2006, man, I said, no, man, I can't do this. And you can't imagine, for that movement, what I was paid, 50,000 naira. 50,000, and what I used to transport us to and fro was close to 200K. Less the maybe feeding and other logistics. So it wasn't encouraging. So after that time, I said, no, I'm not interested, you know. I'm not, except I have that kind of money to, and the process of cumbersome process of having to go and lobby to play. When I felt that that music was the music that would represent the carnival, even if we have every other genre of music, but that music at that time, and you know, it's something that I would call Canaan vibes. The vibe was chiefly Canaan city vibes, and you know, all these things happen, you know, politics and all that, and I just had to lay off, so to say.
Wow, I can understand. It's painful, you know, like something.
Yeah.
It's like the goal is already close by, but somebody now takes it away.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's hurdles, and like they say, a prophet has no honor in his hometown and all that. So I was out here representing. Not that we can't play reggae, jazz, and all that stuff. You understand, but that element of let it be unique. Let's promote the Efik culture through music at a higher level, not at the level of Yangta and Peter or Peter Effium of blessed memory and all that. So that prompted what you see like a bongo carnival, that jazz, and you see the level that it is and all that. That is the kind of music I really want to play. But how many people would understand that kind of music, or, you know, serenade with it, so to say? So I had to fall back and remix all this Mbaya Saturday to something a little bit more understandable by, or let's say consumable by the regular person on the streets.
Well, Tete, that's a touching one that you have.
Yeah.
What would have projected you to the kind of place you're supposed to be in your city, in your hometown? We are not talking about going to here, and it's not possible. It didn't come true. Well,
yes,
we
because
don't know
they will be living in big names. You know, there are lots of talents there out in the street that are not on the limelight. We shouldn't base our, you know, a criteria on only big names that have happened, you know, have made hits or have media presence, because they were still on this side of the divide before they got help, maybe through label or direct sponsorship and all that. So if we have that kind of platform and that spotlight, believe you me, we are not blowing our trumpet. We are not trying to boast, but we know that we have something that is unique and different. It's not as if we're doing copy and paste and all that. There's an originality about it, and, you know, a sense of direction, which is still intact.
Yeah. Well, there's still time. We don't know who listens to us. Like, where we bring this platform for people to be able to, artists to be able to bring out what they really have, especially like you said, media, because media is an issue. Sometimes the gatekeeping is so much that you don't have even the chance to express yourself.
Yeah.
And
and
it becomes an issue. So that's one of the things we are trying to do here. Anybody that has a voice should come up and say, like what I'm even doing, I'm trying to close it down after maybe next week, because sometimes you reach out to artists, you reach out to even artists that, okay, come, let's discuss. It looks me, I don't know how to beg in any case. So I'm doing it for free. I don't earn money.
We are not wired like that.
So
we are not wired like that. You know, some of the guys had to go through a lot, go to radio stations, beg DJs and everything. And it got to a point, at least you have to bribe. You have to go and give from as way back as that time, how many years back, from 50,000, 100K. So the highest bidder. So if you have a sponsor that go to this station and throw 200, 300K, at least they'll play your music and all that. So it's that bad, you know. So you are not given the platform to excel. It's not like how it is outside, you know, where things are, structures are in place. Here is a man, no man. Who do you know, and what can you put on the table before you are? So because they are looking at it at from a perspective that when we help you play now and you blow, you won't remember us.
You don't remember
as
us.
if yes. So as if it's an entitlement mentality that I really don't understand, because why? When we are paying all these dues all these years, apart from the creativity, writing songs and maybe learning to play an instrument or learning the ropes to production and all that, there's no input from you. So why all of a sudden everybody wants to rip off the little stipends that you just make money and go and give to them and all that? So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. This has not been encouraging at all, especially to people who are up and coming, who have
real creativity,
so
that have real creativity.
Yes. So people that made it, if you ask them the road to success, even the likes of them Two-Face, they know what they went through, begging. I think it was Timaya that said actually that he had to carry his CDs around, and if you see somebody maybe who has a car parked and is playing, you will just go and beg him to play, please play my music and all that. And we shouldn't go through all this kind of shit, So these are some of the hurdles artists, upcoming and aspiring artists meet, hurdles that they meet on the way, and it's not been encouraging at all. So, but what can we do? We just have to keep pushing.
But you see, we'll soon round up. But you see, I don't know if you know about Ibibio sound machine.
Ibibio sound machine.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
It's a UK band. The band is in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
The only Nigerian in that band is Williams from. I'm trying to see if God will help me to be able to get her on this platform. She's the only Nigerian there, but the band plays Ibibio music. She sings in Ibibio, and they've done so wonderfully well across the world: Australia, US, UK.
Yeah, because it's original, Joe. It's original. Once you're, that's why I believe in the stuff I'm doing, because if I get the spotlight, I know there's so much more in my archive that I've not brought out. They're just waiting for the platform and the right time, and boom, so many things,
So
I applaud that very well.
It's beautiful, and she too has tried to bring the folklore. That is the wonderful thing. The Efik culture into the whole thing, the whole same folklore that we listen to as kids. She's doing it, and people are accepting it out here. Right now, she's scheduling her tour, our next leg of the tour around UK, So if people outside can accept such, and again, the members of our band, I think there's only one Ghanaian that's an African. Others are from UK, from South America, Germany.
I can understand.
So you can imagine. You can imagine.
It's interesting.
So how much more that you are, even in your state, nobody wants to listen to you.
These things coming way back when I had that vision. A lot of people musically, they want to play reggae, they want to play pop, they want to play American kind of music and everything, and say, hey, I have to do something that if you don't have to crack your brain, because it is part of you already. The folklore, we grew up seeing all these indigenous cultural folk dances, masquerade and all that. When you start talking about so much rhythmic vibes to take from Yangpe, to take from Abang, to take from Nabo, to take from Okukam, Ibo, Nok, so many of these things. So that is where I came from. But people didn't understand, why am I putting all this percussion and all this thing? And I was trying to create, but later I'm just glad that some people picked up on this thing and, and leverage on it and all that. But we are the pioneer of, looking at that direction. Excuse me.
You know, that's what made Bajek Fashion stand out again.
Yes, because of the talking drum fusion.
Talking drum,
yeah,
yeah.
It gave his sound a different dimension. So that's what I was trying to do, and without sorry, I have a little cold. Without mincing words, I have to give credit to who credit is due. It is actually the late Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti that gave me this inspiration. You understand? Yeah, that is of using, because of, you see, when the way Afrobeat came out, and there's element of jazz and blues, and then there was culture. You know, that big drum, I don't know what we call it, that long drum, and I say, yeah, he's using this thing. I can't use talking drum. I'm not from the West. I can't use them. So I had to use ukpa.
What you have.
Nsa, you know, all these things are incorporated to just to be original, to reflect my background and where this music is coming from. And believe you me, like the girl you said is doing well. Yes, because I know that if the chances arise and all that, and I have that platform, I have a lot to offer too. And the Western world is not like us. They appreciate anything that is original. That's why you see people like Baba Mo, Yusundo, and Selif Keita. You see their music and all that. It's not, and they are appreciated all around. You know, so these are the things, the challenges that we face here and there.
So
we're still on.
Thank you, Tete. We have to round up now. It's been a pleasure. We'll keep on pushing, and I believe God will have a way of shining the lights on where you are.
I know.
Your music is wonderful. People really need to know what is really going on. You know, I discovered that again. The younger generation are trying to bring the local language into raps. I mean, back home. We have Ikwa-Udo, for instance.
That guy is great. I love the guy. These guys, I like what they are doing. A whole lot of these younger guys, more in Akwa-Ibom State, man, they freak me out. A lot of them. They are.
That's Ekpenyong's son. Those guys are. Even
they are great, man.
They are trying. They are trying to keep the culture.
Yes.
So it's been a pleasure. As we wrap up, any last word for the people watching, for the younger generation?
Well, let's just stay tuned and keep faith. It's gonna happen. Everything has a time and season. It's never too late. Manu Dibango made it around 57 or thereabouts 58, and so it's never too late. Music is not something that you say is by age or whatever. As long as you have the sound, everything will be okay. So let's just keep our fingers crossed, and hey, everybody, watch out for this guy. We've been around, but when we come, eventually we're gonna come with a bang. So peace and love. All my fans everywhere, I thank you. I love you. And it's been a pleasure to be on this platform with you, Joe. I really appreciate this.
Right.
And more kudos and more grace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone that has joined, and we're going to watch after we've posted it on our platform. This is Music in My Ears, the Nigerian Music History Stories channel. Please subscribe. That's the only encouragement you can give us. You may not be able to give us money, but if you give us money, you can go to the stars. If you see the stars on this live, you can click it or whatever, but we are not doing it for the money. We want to preach and project the culture. Thank you for joining, and peace.
Yeah. Bye.
Right.